Hey you guys, what's up? Hey girl, hey, it is your girl Tash and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video guys, we are going to get into a very long awaited and highly requested video, my eyeshadow palette collection. Now before I get into this video, I do want to let you guys know I started out being pretty chatty in this video. However, as I went on, it took me 5 days now to film this video. So I just want to say that I hope that you guys enjoy it because it did take so long to film. There are 331 palettes total in this video. However, I do want to say that I did include quads by accident, and I would say there's about 30 of those between my e.l.f. bite-sized palettes, my little Wet n Wild quads. I think those are the two smallest that I included. And I want to say there is about 30 small quad palettes that I accidentally included. It's like I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I hope that you guys will take this video with a grain of salt. Now, as I said, as I went on in the video, I thought to myself, wow, if I don't split this video up, it's going to be like 2 hours long. Because y'all know me, eyeshadows are my favorite product ever. And I will get into a palette, start swatching everything. Girl, I would have sat down and created a look. We would have been there for days. So I started to go through palettes, showing you guys the component of the palette without the added packaging, if that makes sense, and just kind of showing you guys the inside so that we could start to get through more of the palettes. Again, I want to apologize. The lighting may not have been great in this video. The sun was not cooperating and I was using my window over by where most of my palettes are stored. So I think that this is still going to be a very lengthy video. So I hope you will grab a snack and a drink, sit back, relax, and welcome to my eyeshadow palette collection. Alright y'all, so we're just going to kind of start off with some random brands. I am trying to keep everything in brand collection. Like if I have Wet n Wild and I have like 20 other palettes. So we're going to go ahead and pull this one out of here. You guys will have to be patient with me on how everything looks. This is my first time filming with this kind of setup, the camera facing down. And I don't know what I'm doing. So kicking it off, we're going to start off with the She Glam Afterglow palette. I've only used this palette one time so far. It's very, very beautiful. It's got some beautiful shades in it. But again, I just only had one chance to use it. So I'm really wanting to get some more of their palettes. But after opening my drawers and looking at all of this mess, I don't know about that right now. This is going to be a pain too, so. Alright, so moving into LA Girl, I have all of these palettes leading up to, I think, the Break Free collection. And then I will explain to you guys why I don't have any more. So here's this one. I think this is the Pro Artistry. It's one of my faves. I love pinks and I love mauve, and it's just a gorgeous palette and a beautiful, beautiful pigmentation. The formula is long wearing and just stunning. So there's that one. These are not in order anymore. So then I also have this one as well. I think this is the Pro Mastery. Just a stunning, stunning formula again, and I love the color story. So then we're going to move on to the VIP collection. Now this one is not pretty on the inside. I ordered these twice from Ulta and they arrived broke both times, which is why I stopped ordering these palettes, because I initially reached out to LA Color or LA Girl, and yeah, they pretty much ignored me like 4 or 5 times, so I quit purchasing their makeup. But there's that one. This was my favorite from that collection, this guy right here, the VIP Main Stage. But again, it arrived broken, that's why the plastic's still over this one. So just love the pastels for summer. They got some dark shades in there, and the formula is just off the chain. If you have ever used these, you already know. I think this was the first collection of these, the Fierce and Wild collection. So I have both of those. Actually, this was the second, my bad. But a very similar color story, and that's what happens with all of these. So I just recommend you don't need them all. I bought them all because I'm on YouTube and I wanted to review them. And I genuinely do like the color stories. but you don't need them on. I'm going to show you what I mean. It's just, it's similar. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, they're going to be very similar. I will show you with the first one that came out, which was the Hot Heat. Okay, this one's not similar. I lied. But this is the Hot Heat, and this is the Fierce and Wild. This one I love because I love the formula, and I love the color story in here. I like the purples mixed with the turquoise and some of these really pretty dark shades here. Just, you guys, these shadows are like butter. And they're like 15 bucks. A lot of times you can get them on sale for $11.99. But I recommend if you purchase them from Ulta to go inside the store. So back to Fierce and Wild, we have this guy right here. Again, just a very pretty palette. I hope you guys can see this stuff okay. Maybe let's go down a little bit. There we go. So moving back to Hot Heat. Here is this guy right here. This was my very first one. And that's what she looks like. And this is one of my favorites still. It's got those pinks, mauves, purples, and I just love it. I do have videos on all of these. I will leave linked up in the iCards for you. It's in a playlist. All right, guys, so now I'm going to move into some brands like C Color, W7, and just some other brands similar. So here's the Fairy Tale 2. And this one is a dupe for the... It's one of the gingerbread palettes by Too Faced. Just a very pretty color story. Here is the C Color Cherry palette. This is a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Cherry, and it is a dead-on dupe. I also have a video on this palette here. Comes with a pretty decent brush as well. Similar to the Urban Decay one, and this one does smell like cherry, by the way. Pretty decent pigmentation for what it is and for the price. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Next up, we have the W7 Queen Bee. This is a dupe for the Naked Honey. This one's got some really pretty pigmentation too, guys. I'm not going to swatch too many of these because I have videos on these, so I will link them for you. Or as many as I can. Moving on to some more C Color. This is the Dusk to Dawn palette. It's a dupe for the Jackie Aina palette by ABH. Then we have the C Color Diamond. This is an original from C Color, and it's all shimmers. These are stunning. Now this, I will swatch a few for you because I don't believe I have a video on this. It's right here. And these are beautiful. These palettes are only 10 bucks. They do come with a mirror, so definitely worth it. This one right here is the C Color Cabana, and this is a dupe for the ABH Riviera. Then we have the C Color Sundown. This is a dupe for the Huda Beauty, gosh, I can't think of the name of the palette, but as soon as you see it, Desert Dusk. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I'll probably end up decluttering this one soon. I just think that the palettes I just showed you are better formula. This one is just kind of mediocre. Alright, y'all, we're going to take it back old school real quick. Who remembers Shop Hush, Bad Habit, all of those places? I do still have those palettes. I need to get rid of them. They are very old. But I just want to show I did get use out of those. Those were my favorite palettes when I had them and used them. Just a heads up, if you're new here, we do have baby goats, and they're not happy right now. It's almost baba time. They want to eat, and it's not time yet, so. Still in with Bad Habit, we have the Pretty Poison. This one is still a very hot item. Like, if you sell this online, people will pay decent money for it. It's one of their better palettes, one of their most popular palettes. Moving on to the Bad Habit Aurora. This was a dupe for the ABH, it's right on the tip of my tongue, Prism. I miss Bad Habit. I think that they had a great formula. Speeding it up, we have the Bad Habit Retro Love, which was a dupe for Thinking. The one that people didn't like, Subculture. And then I also have the Face Candy Amazonia. Sorry guys, these are still in boxes, though they are used. And the Face Candy Sahara, which I will open for you. So these next set of palettes were iconic from Bad Habit. These are the dupes for the Pat McGrath. Some of mine did become damaged in shipping, like this guy right here, but I cannot bring myself to get rid of these. They're so good. If you guys are interested in any of the You Can Be palettes I am showing you now, check the description box and you can save some money off. As you can see, this one is still brand new. Very beautiful though. Alright y'all, we're going to move it on into ColourPop. So I have both of these, Lyric and Ballad. One of my all-time favorites from ColourPop, It's My Pleasure. I have videos and a playlist on the 9 pans from ColourPop. It's one of my favorite nudes. Here's one of my favorite green palettes. This is Just My Luck. Yeah, I have not even used this one yet, but it's beautiful. I have not used Blue Moon yet. Stunning! And one of my other faves, Ooh La La. One of the hottest palettes from ColourPop, Sweet Talk. I obviously love this one. This is one of my new faves. This is one of my first ColourPop palettes ever. Alright guys, so here are two just kind of off brands. They're not really off brand, they're just different, and I don't have a lot of the same brand. This one has been used. It's EBIN in case you're wondering. Then we have the Catrice X Iman. Now I'm going to go through a few more kind of different brands like Clean Color, Amuse, Coastal Scents, Beauty Creations, Folklore, and I think Shop Miss A. So here's one of my favorite Clean Color palettes. And I do have a video on this. This one is by Amuse. Clean Color. You have another Clean Color. This is their Pro Nude. I think these are like 10 bucks. This is a palette from a company called BU Beauty. It was one of the first companies that ever believed in me and worked with me. And this is their Breaking the Rules palette. Now unfortunately this company is no longer around. The pandemic it took a toll on them, so shout out to them for being amazing and supportive of me when I didn't even have 5K subscribers. I have a very soft spot for them and I always will. We got a Beauty Creations. She's well loved. This is their Seduce Me palette. Got the Coastal Scents Revealed Rouge. I do have a video on this. It's from my earlier stages of YouTube. The Shop Miss A XOXO. So I did miss a C color palette. This one is a dupe for a Nabla palette. It's very pretty. I have so many, I haven't gotten around to using it yet. All right, now we're gonna move into one of my other favorite brands since I was a teenager, BH Cosmetics. Here we have Los Angeles. Beautiful in Barcelona. And hanging in Hawaii. This will forever be a favorite from BH for me. And they do still sell this on their website. This is one of my new favorites. Came around Christmas time, and I'm sorry, but this is not just Christmas. This is all year for me. All right, here we have the Juvia's Masquerade. Alright guys, we're going to be moving into my ABH palettes in just a moment. Before I move into ABH, I do want to show you a ColourPop palette that I missed because it's brand new. It was not in my drawer. So this one has not been opened. Alright, first off we have volume 5. I think this is, no, this is volume 4. My apologies. Then we have volume 1. If I remember correctly, is quite messy. And now we have my favorite, which is volume 5. This is a recent launch. I do have a video on all of these except for one, I believe. I will link them down below for you. This one I did 5 looks, 1 palette. Alright, this one here was a recent add to my collection. I had been wanting it for a long time. I found it on a website that I know is legit. You guys, I got this for 20 bucks. This is a $50 palette. This baby has been well loved. I believe this was my first palette from her. Either that or Norvina. But oh yeah. If you can't tell, I do love Carly Bible. I think she is amazing, beautiful, and talented. Now I had this one before. It's a classic and I had to have it back. I have used it, but she's newer. This one has been well loved, as you can see. Boom! Now we're going to move into Alter Ego, which is another one of my favorite brands. They just launched a new palette today. I am on a July no-buy. However, a friend purchased it for me, so technically I'm not cheating. This one actually fell and shattered, so this is a repurchase. This one has not been touched. I was not going to include this in my collection, but I do still have it. I bought it for all the drama kicked off, and yeah. These were sent in PR. I did not use them because they are not my colors. This is my newest from my Amorus collection. I have not been able to use this one as of yet. These are my OG Milani palettes. Most Love Matte, Pure Passion, Bold Obsessions, and Soft and Sultry, which is my favorite. Artist Couture, moving on to a few Natasha Denona. Alright guys, so some of the palettes you're about to see have not been used. It is a mix of brands from Wet n Wild, the Crayon Case, BYS, C Color, LA Colors, a little bit of everything. I have a whole video on these, so I will leave that linked for you. These have not been opened yet. I don't want to open them yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them. And this is the Wet n Wild Hollow Queen palette. This next one is Wet n Wild Wizards in Training. And the last one is Mummy of the Year. Okay, moving on to the crayon case. This one has not been used, and I'm sure the yellow one is in another drawer. Profusion. I have not tried this one yet. It's the Neon palette. Not tried this yet either. This is BYS Peach. Sea Color Cherry 2. I have tried a little bit of it. And then the last LA Colors for now. So this one is brand new, has not been used yet. And I did want to mention, I recently decluttered a bunch of e.l.f. eyeshadows, so that's why I don't have as many anymore. Guys, we will be getting into some more bigger palettes. Just to let you know, I had to go through a drawer that had smaller ones in it and bigger ones mixed. So this is collab. It's kind of hard to see. I'm so sorry. If you guys want a more in-depth review with like a bunch of swatches and things like that, I will totally redo this in a couple of months. It's just that when you have this many, it makes it very difficult. This video would have been like 2-3 hours long. And I do have videos with most of these, so be sure to check that description box. Alright guys, we're going to go through Revolution. Now I have decluttered quite a few of my Revolution as well over the years. Don't mind this, it's eyeshadow. But this is what I have left. You guys remember Freedom? I don't even know if they're still a part of Revolution, but this palette pigment is bomb. I'll just show you a few real quick because I didn't have my channel. Well, I did, but I didn't film when I first got this palette, so yeah, it's really pretty. And I do still use it. Alright y'all, I know you can see like edges of palettes and stuff. We're going to go through Profusion. I just have them all up here for my convenience because there's a lot. Those of you that have been with me, you know I'm a Profusion junkie. I'm ride or die for the brand. I love their quality. So, my first Revolution or Profusion palette was actually back when I was 13 or 14. Of course, I don't have it anymore, but I've always loved their quality. And back before they were huge. If you see tape on the edges here, it's because they don't put the names down here on the base where all the shadows are, and so I just tape them inside the palette. Sorry guys, that one is not taped inside the palette. This is one of my faves of their larger palettes. This one is still brand new. It still has the plastic on it. Bought this one year at Christmas because they had this one in the Ultra Cool on clearance at Walgreens for like $5 a piece. They were actually selling them in the store for $20. And then I also missed a Revolution palette. One of my faves of their larger palettes. This is the Maxi Reloaded in Large It Up, in case you're wondering. We've got a few little guys here, which I wasn't going to include. I am not including single shadows. It will take me forever. This was also a Christmas special. This is the Frostbite. This one was kind of an after Christmas. This is a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. These come out every Christmas. Now, keep in mind, I have decluttered some of my Profusion palettes that I don't use or didn't think I would use. Maybe mine are getting old because these usually spread a lot better. Now I did already show you guys the Neons palette, the 10 pan, so you won't see that again. I haven't used it. Alright, now we're moving into Morphe, which I actually quit buying Morphe after the Lisa Frank palette, so yeah, I only have a few. I love this palette so much, so gorgeous. I love this little guy too, so beautiful. This is the 39S, I believe. I'll double check, but I love this one too. All the purples and pinks. There's numbers on there because I did a collab video with this. Yeah, this is 39S. This is my original Jaclyn Hill Volume 1. As you can see, she's well loved. And then one, I tried to talk myself out of decluttering. I decluttered it and I brought it back. Just because Jeffree Star was a part of my makeup journey. And, you know, just because I no longer agree with him as a person doesn't mean I don't still love the makeup. So I decided to keep it in my collection. Alright, so before I get back into the rest of my Wet n Wild collection, I am going to show you guys some more palettes. I've got some high-end and drugstore mixed together. Love this palette so much. It's so old, but I love it. It was one of my first Too Faced palettes. This one I love so much that I actually ordered the mid-size one. Remember they launched this, came out with the larger one that was like $45, and then they just launched a mid-size. So that one should be here this week. I'm probably gonna give the smaller one to my mom. This is one of my favorite Tarte palettes, Toasted. I actually have the other one in here somewhere. Did want to let you guys know to be on the lookout for an eyeshadow palette declutter coming up soon. If you guys are interested in Zoeva, which is this palette right here, they have many more. Definitely be on the lookout on Nordstrom Rack. These are like almost $30 palettes and they sell them on there for like $8. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore for an all matte palette. Used to have the lemonade version of this one, but it wasn't as good as this one. This is the Maybelline Soda Pop. I'm folding back the mirror so it doesn't blind you guys. Clearly I love this palette. This is the Tarte Toasted. This is the Shop Missy Moonstone. This is a classic. Ooh, upside down. I do have a video on this, guys. I will link it for you. It's an older video. Alright guys, now we're going to get through my Wet n Wild collection of palettes. Please keep in mind this does not include singles. As I said, we will be here all day. So clearly this guy gets used. I think it's a fantastic palette for the price. I believe you can still get this on their website, but don't quote me. In addition to the 40 palette, they also launched this little guy right here. I do have a video using this. This is all shimmers and metallics, so I don't remember what this one's called. It's on the box, and believe it or not, I actually keep all my products in the boxes because when you go to get rid of them and sell them, they sell better. Well, I had to take all the boxes off for the video to be able to open the palettes. So I chose to keep these out of the palette or boxes for now and just store the boxes. This one is actually on sale at the time of filming this for $10 on the website. Sorry about the lighting, guys. The sun's moving around and I might have to try to close this window. Just trying to use natural lighting. Alright guys, I'm going to do the best I can to try to get through this video. Throwback. It's part of the sticky that goes on the palette. That's all that is. The only thing I hate about these palettes is that they break so easily. That one just broke. Alright guys, so moving into my favorite indie brand. If you are new here, hey, hello. Amorus is my favorite indie brand. They make some of the best eyeshadows for an indie brand that I've ever tried. I've turned a lot of my subscribers onto them. This right here is my favorite palette that they make. And I actually have two of these. This is my old one, and I will show you my new one. And the reason that I repurchased it is because mine was expired. And this is going to be discontinued. It is currently on their site on sale. Once it's gone, it's gone. And I love the palette that much. So, just wanted to explain why you'll see two of those. By the way, these 32 shade pressed pigment palettes have everything in them, from shimmers to mattes. They've started putting some duochromes, glitters, metallics. They have everything. So for 15 bucks, you're getting quite a bit. And I will leave a playlist down below where you can check all these out being used. This is one of their other newest launches earlier. In the video, I showed you guys the Magic Macaron. This is the Tea Time Fantasy. This is the second one that they launched most recently. I don't believe this set I'm going to show you right now is still available on their site, so I do apologize, but this was the Sun and the Moon collection that they launched, I believe, last year. Guys, don't mind my nails. I'm in the middle of getting them done. Well, doing them myself, but I wanted to get this video done and up for you guys, so this one they actually sent in PR. I haven't been able to use it yet, so this will be coming up in a video, probably a makeup and story time. This is still available as of right now. This is another new launch from 2021. It's absolutely gorge. So this sleeve right here is the old packaging. The new one comes with a box. I just prefer the sleeves. So here's my new one. This is absolutely gorgeous. I've turned so many people onto this palette, to this brand, and I've never had a complaint. And as you can see, I quite love them. These are all Amorus. This is their all matte palette. Alright you guys, so that is it for my eyeshadow palette collection. This is going to be a series that I do regularly every year. Now, I think if you guys have some feedback for me, I would really, really love to hear it down below. If you would prefer that I was more detailed with my palettes, like talking to you about them, maybe swatching a few shades out of each palette, we can definitely do that. I know that some creators do upload palette videos that are several hours and people still watch them. However, I didn't want to do that to you guys, this being my first time doing this. Also, I do want to say that this was my first time filming with a piece of equipment that had me filming my hands, where it's like a thing and it holds your camera and it points down. So please be gentle. I've never filmed with a piece of equipment like that. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am learning as I go. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you are new here, what's up? My name is Tash. I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button and the bell. That way you don't miss out on any future content. I do all kinds of content on this channel. I'm hoping to get into some more vlogging soon as things slow down around here. Poor Nick and I have been running ragged these past few months. Past year actually, but alright you guys, so as always I just want to thank you all, especially Team Ride or Die. Hey girl, hey. Thank you guys as always for taking time out of your busy days to come hang out with me. You guys know it means the world to me and I love you so much. If you're new here, hey, hi, hello, my name is Tash. I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button as well as the bell. That way you're notified of all my future uploads. I love you guys so, so much. Again, please stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.